product that you kind of spackled the inside
Right here?
with, bottom right corner. That crack.
Oh, that crack right there? Yeah, it's parging. So when we get in here, there's firebox repair that's needed. Okay. And then, yeah, that's tuck pointing right across there. And then all the way through here. I usually explain at this point to the homeowner. I usually explain to the homeowner about how the fireplace was built. When the fireplace was built, who built it? The Masons, right? The Masons, right? It's mortar, right? I don't know. I wasn't here, but I'm guessing the Masons built it, right? What do Masons have? Mortar. Yeah. Do they have non-refractory mortar? No. They don't even know what it is. So you're building your fireplace with the same stuff that was built on the outside of the house, expecting to withstand thousands of degrees of temperature. Like, it's not happening. And so this was built improperly to begin with. Again, you're bringing fire into your house. Do you love those beautiful kids? Like, come on, people. Like, this is dumb. Like, don't have a fire in this house until this thing is properly drafted. Remember the straw? Imagine if we had a straw in here and it was perfectly brand new straw right through. What do you think the efficiency of this thing's going to be? This thing's going to rip and roar and operate better than it did the very first day it was built. And that's what we're here to do, to make you understand and be able to enjoy the ambiance of your fire in a safer way. All right? So now, without further ado, all right. Again, you want to make this as easy as possible for you. I love that these rods are white. Why do I like that? For one reason, it's going to show us any of the dirt or creosote that's going to be left on that. It's going to be easy to clean when we're pulling them back out. I have my bucket right here for garbage, for debris. We're going to try to keep the site as clean as we possibly can. These rods are pretty slick. I might actually be able to use a glove on this. Nope. Takes away the purpose of it. Some people I know, like Mark, used to like to take an extra, like a rag and put a rag around it. And be able to run it back and forth. He would put a rag on it so then as you're seeing it, because you're holding this in place while it's spinning, all right? So I go ahead and put a couple of these together. I already put the rod. There's two of these. Each kit has two of these rod adapters. These things are kind of junky, so just be warned. They're fragile. Yeah, they're fragile. Well, it was the difference between these rod kits for $200 for the entire sweep set or $4,000. So it goes from 200 to 4,000. So it's quite a big difference. All right, I got my rod head here. Make sure I'm free of any. Again, my equipment, my tools, dropped past. All right, as I connected two of these, probably the wrong way, because guess what? Look what's hitting here. If this was dirty, I just stained the customer's rug. You see that? So as I bring it right inside here, I'm going to bring it right in through the damper plate. You see that?
Oh, Jesus.
The minute I open this up, I didn't even start sweeping yet. See that? And I didn't even start sweeping it yet, right? Correct. And so I'm inside the damper, the smoke chamber itself. I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning from the bottom and work my way up. Why do I want to do that? I don't want to get my equipment dirty. That's it. You can go from the top, you can go from the bottom, whatever way you want to do. But I want to clean the firebox itself, or the smoke chamber itself. If this box was dirty or if there was nothing in there, I would have swept that up right away. But as I'm running this in, what I'm making sure is that there's no resistance. It's not catching on something. There's not any dead animals. There's not any raccoons trying to bite at me. Things like that. All right. You guys see the smoke coming back down? What did I forget to do?
This was saying you need this running.
I hit it. Yeah. Hang on. Yep. But I want you guys to pay attention to what I'm doing. I'm not looking up it. I'm letting the tool do what it's supposed to do. It's a giant weed whacker whip that's just flipping around, right? So I go back and forth the entire width of the rod. I hit the walls. Every once in a while, I'll stop to look up there to see how good of a job I'm doing or what I'm missing. At this point, what I'm going to do, once I start actually sweeping, is I'm sending out if I'm the lead, I then pass it over to whoever's doing the job with me, my assistant. The assistant's supposed to be doing the sweep, all right? You then are going and starting your 25-point inspection. I want to stop and let the vacuum in the, you guys smell creosote? So I don't want to make sure, and at any point you can come back and double check to make sure you're properly drafting, all right? See that? You guys have a big bottle of this. It's about $20 a box. It should last you like 40 sleeps. But if it lasts you 20 and we keep people's house safe and we don't destroy anything, it's worth its weight in gold, all right? But when you start smelling it through your respirator, slow down. All right, slow down. Let it properly draft. Let it do what it's supposed to do. Each and every rod that I reattach is going to get the next 2 to 3 feet of the chimney. And I'm going to go back and up and down 2 or 3 feet. Follow me? When you guys saw me pull it back down, did you see all that massive amount drop? Everything on your chimney is going to sit. You got your damper plate. Everything's going to sit right around that damper plate. That's the dirtiest part of the job, is cleaning that damper plate. If you guys accidentally miss 2/3 of that, I'm okay with it. Because you could spend 3 days cleaning that. There's a shelf. The back of the firebox comes open like this. The damper plate sits on top of it like this. There's a shelf about anywhere from 6 to 12 inches off the back of it. The mouth of the fireplace is always moved towards the front of the firebox, this way. The shelf sits behind it because of the angle of the box. Everything that comes down is designed to sit on there, all right? We got a couple brushes that will get a good amount of it. Let the heat shield guys take care of that. That's not your job there. We're gonna stick our hand up there, grab a few things, and be done with that. Now that I'm getting into the flue, at this point, did anybody check to see if there's a spark arrestor on top of this flue? I want to find the top of the chimney because I'll start sweeping outside of the house. I'll keep adding to it, so I kind of want to get a gauge on that to make sure if there's a spark arrestor on there and you start going up and up and up and you bust through it and you don't have a ladder, you're in trouble. So I want to find the top of the flue. It. Found it. Right now, you guys notice I just added like 4 rods? Why I did that is I'm in the flue. All right, I can go to the top. Now I can sweep and start coming back down. All right, so the sweep's almost done. It's up to you at this point. Guess what? We don't need to clean these yet. Why? Because I still got to do my video inspection.
Oh.
I'm going to use the same rods for my video inspection, right? You're better off to put them right back in the bag. But at this point, the actual sweep is done. Now I'm just cleaning up. Pretty simple. Anything that I touch is going to be full of creosote. I kept myself pretty clean.
Yeah. I feel like when the fireplace has like, it steps up, it's not level with the ground.
Yeah,
it's
hearth.
a little tougher.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
An elevated hearth.
Yeah, it's a little,
Perfect.
harder for the rod to do it.
Perfect.
The camera's
Yep. At this point, you guys see everything that's built up in here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to move this out. I'm going to put this back somewhere over here like this and get it out of the way. And then I'm going to come in at this point and I'm going to clean it up as safe and as nice as I can with a quickness. In the back of a firebox is a little door. 2/3 of chimneys have them. It's called an ash dump door, right? It's the back of it. What is it designed to do? It's designed to put hot embers down. You're building a fire. When they built this home, what happened? They left their house burning. They had fires. They started it in the fall, put them out in the spring. Seriously. And so you didn't have time for it to cool, the embers to cool down. So there's a dump door in the back. In this case, this is where they fed their gas line in. Did you notice I have no debris? At all. Where'd it go? Down the ash dump door. Yep, down the ash dump. This one's completely empty. It's just dust and debris. Try not to get caught doing that, unless you're going to go clean out their ash dump door.
Oh, okay, got it.
And so a lot of times those are packed from the floor if it's full, from the floor all the way into the basement.
Oh shit. Okay.
For 80 years of ash. Yeah, that's not included in our sweeps. We're not going through and doing that. This is still a level 1 sweep. We're not doing level 2 sweeps. We're not offering level 2 sweeps inspections.
So if somebody asked us to
Clean that out, you give them a price for it.
Okay, that's what my next question.
That's cool.
What does something like that look like?
Well, you're gonna have to without a heat shield. I'm not interested.
Okay.
You're gonna send, because it could take you 1 day. It could take you, 2 hours. It could take you 14 hours. You don't know. If it's got blockages in there, what are you gonna do?
Right.
And it could create further issues as well.
So is this like one of the cleanest fireplaces, chimneys that you'd see doing this on a daily basis?
No. Most of them are like this. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that clean. It was pretty dirty. It was a lot of fireplaces too. This is a built-up. This is a little bit different than most gas fireplace systems that you're going to see. Does this have a remote to it too, Mike?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, and so a lot of times what'll happen is there's embers, and it looks like looks almost like insulation, and it fills around it. Some people have rocks. Some people, when you guys get those dirty, do the very best you can to clean them off. You don't want to suck them all up. You don't want to remove them all because they embers and they glow. It's like a special wool type of setup. You guys want to try to do the best you can around those, all right? And then they can hire a fireplace tune-up company because tune-up companies don't do sweeps.
Yeah, right.
And so they can hire somebody if their gas isn't working properly. We don't have any code, any regulation, nothing to touch people's gas. So I run from it with run the other way. We don't touch gas. We don't want to be responsible for that, all right? And so now that I'm at this point, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fire up my camera. At this point, you really shouldn't need to clean out, turn the vacuum back on because we're at this point, we got the customer back over here. The sweep was done. Well, I found quite a bit of damage inside of your firebox. You can start to allude to what the damage is that you found, some of the issues that you found. When you're in here sweeping and cleaning these, the customer at the end of the day is going to be pissed off if you don't take this and just do this, right? 2/3 of my sweep was with my brush. Doesn't care about the sweep, just cleaning the firebox. Because when they come in over here and they're looking in here and they see it, They want to see that their walls, there's not cobwebs anymore, right? There's a little bit of debris that I missed back in that corner. That's something I'm going to want to hit before I get done, all right? And so now is the fun part.
Camera's behind you.
Thank you. I think we got 2 of them out here.
Yeah, I don't know if this one's charged. I didn't know that one was in here.
They put it in there after. Nope, put that away, please. All right. Camera on.
You're gonna record on this, right?
No, I don't think it records.
Oh, it's just live look?
Yep.
It takes pictures. Yeah, it takes pictures.
Does it?
I think it might honestly be the video. I'm not sure. Don't quote me, but it definitely takes pictures. You have to manually do it.
As long as there's an SD in it.
Yeah, that's true. There
No,
is an SD in there.
no camera. Put it in the wrong spot, that's why.
Yeah, long hole. In the bottom, it'll click. There you go.
Boom.
Tape
Right.
is behind your back foot.
Thank you, sir. When I'm doing this, the customer can be with you, right next to you, or not. I prefer that the customer is right there with me. I make sure everything's cleaned out, make sure it's properly in the upright position. It's actually showing what I want it to show. Right, at this point, you've already pointed out all the gaps and cracks and issues inside the firebox.
So can we look at,
The camera,
yeah,
this one.
well, this is the actual camera right there, right?
Yep. Remember, you're gonna have to take the tape back off, so don't get
I
too
was just
carried.
gonna ask you, is that
Don't
why
get too carried away. Yes.
And you kind of want it hooked like that, like
Angle?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Let me see. See all those gaps and cracks? See those mortar joints?
yeah.
We're not even on past the damper. Look at all that creosote. You can't get to that to clean to that because there's no rotary tool that'll clean it. But once it's filled with refractory mortar from heat shield, you're going to be able to perfectly 100% clean this. All right. So I'm going to center my camera in here, and then I'm going to spin and rotate. Right. I'm going to spin and rotate inside there to capture any of the damage inside of it. So as I go higher,
Would you at very minimum want to sell this person a PCR?
I wouldn't sell them PCR at all.
No?
I would
Okay,
never sell somebody a PCR unless they're buying a heat shield, ever.
Oh, fair enough.
Let's say, would you give these people a heat shield without a PCR?
Yes. Does this need a PCR, guys?
That's what I'm asking.
You tell me. When do we need PCRs?
When it's glassy or sticky.
You see any of those?
I didn't really see any of it. No.
I don't see any. I don't see anything. And I could have showed you that before. So this is the smoke box right there. You see these gaps and cracks, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing's gnarly in a bad way.
Where are you at right now? Okay, you're just over there. Oh, right there with the
Yeah.
grass.
I mean, yeah. Look, all of this right here is what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. So you're not bullshitting them. You can document it. You can camera it. So it's the lazy way to not do it. To say, well, I can close your chimney down. Your chimney's not going to work right now. I can see gaps and cracks 100%. I can walk in any fireplace, look up at bam, bam. Okay, $8,000, and they're going to be like, oh, what? And so it's part of the process, right? What you are going to see in it with a camera, though, is when you get up in these flues, the walls of the flues, to see any vertical cracking. Right? And so that's really what you're going to be able to see. I added one more piece of tape. I don't think I'll have to add any more tape, guys, to be completely honest with you. So you can go in here, exposed mortar joints, corbels. Look at those gaps and cracks in there. There's literally chunks of mortar that are missing. All right? The more aggressive you sweep your chimney,
The more you're going to get.
the more you're going to get, the more that's going to get exposed, correct? So all those gaps and cracks inside there are into the actual firebox. There's the first flue. See that? First flue? Look at that! You see that?
Build a little house in there.
Do you guys ever see that hole? This is the difference between the top of the smoke chamber, which is already a problem, and then that's the first flue.
Why do you want to kill your kid?
Put that in a straw, and go try to take a section of your straw out. One section. Now I'm going to continue to show them.
So
is this how it will be? It's laborer doing this, and then like salesman holding the camera and showing the.
Yep, however you want to do it. Look at those. And I'm just rotating the rod, and you're seeing into those gaps. But you guys see how clean? Would you need a PCR on that?
No.
This is that flue. If you guys get flues looking like that, you're the best. Like when you have a chip. When was your house built, Michael?
50s or 60s.
That's what I'm saying. So what is that? If 20 years ago was the 80s,
60 years. 60 years.
Huh?
60 years.
60 years, right? And you can get a flue looking like that. You ever see that? 20 years ago was the 80s? Yeah, 20 years ago was the 80s. And you're like, no, it was the 2000s. I know. So following it up there, continuing to extend it up. I always like to take it right to the top to show the customer the outside. Look at that. Look at that gap all the way around. It's a clean break all the way around.
Luckily for you, we have a special.
Yes. And Adam, this is why, like, if all you're gonna have to do is clean your equipment better if you don't sweep it.
No, I was more so saying, like, if you're not there for a camera inspection,
Oh yeah.
and then you just end up looking up there and
Yep.
you see it's cracked. Like, that's kind of how it was for me yesterday on the Gillette ditch cell. I wasn't even there for it.
Oh man.
I was just there for her, yeah.
Chimney not
Yeah.
working or something.
Right. But she didn't want to use it, yeah.
That was a great upsell, Adam. Now keep going. Keep going. What kind of questions you guys got? This is putting the reps in, though. Like when you guys take the time to pull this out, this little kit right here is enough to get to this point. I don't want you guys sweeping chimneys, period. I don't. But unfortunately, most people are like, don't come to my house unless you're sweeping the chimney, right? And then you got to sound kind of like we're actually there to do something besides sell them a heat shield. But what we're doing is we're trying to keep them safe. Should be outside soon. But you guys get the point of this?
Oh, yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
You guys see these? This is what we're looking for. I'm not finding any vertical expansion cracking in this, but I did find it down here. I did find it down there. You are going to run into trouble if they send another sweep out here, another inspection. Look at that. Look at that.
So is that where mortar was at one point?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And so creosote is acid. Right? It's like literally strictly just acid. Eats it away. So you don't have a. Go ahead.
I don't, is a flue built in sections, so those seams.
2 foot,
those-
yep.
Those are seams of the flue, mortar shut, so you're looking for the gaps in the mortar and the seam.
You got it, brother.
Okay.
Yep, and that's the same thing as a straw. That's cut into pieces. I'm going to dinner tonight, and I'm going to take my straw as I drink my sparkling water, and I'm going to cut it into 12 pieces.
Right.
It wouldn't get past the first one. And so it's simply put, basically we're filling those gaps in. If you tape it, what's going to happen? It's going to work, and it's actually going to draft and flow. Remember, you also think of a hot air balloon. Why does hot air balloon? Hot air rises. So once you start your fire and it goes up and out, what happens? It's going to actually turbulate. It's going to actually work. So I keep going up. And make sure it's not catching on anything. I am at the top. Why do I know I'm at the top?
Because you can see this.
And also it got really clean. Look at the difference between this flue and this flue.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Boom, outside. Sometimes you can get it and set it up to where you can see their car.
Yeah.
And they always smile. Oh, look at that. He needs a.
Maybe a new crown?
Correct, yeah. Yes, already wiped it, but wipe it. Make sure you clean it. You put it all the same way, going outward. All right.
What do you mean going outward?
You can't. You don't loop it like we were just about to do it. You want it. You want them to come this way and grow it that way. Don't spin it this way because it's going to be massive issues when you go to your next one. It gets
like
it gets
all tangled and shit.
yeah, you don't want to overlap it. You want to keep it on the outside as best as you can, like that. And then this one just can stay that way. This one can stay short because well, that goes for the camera, correct?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go through why is somebody sweeping. You can get 2/3 of this completely done. So the first question is firebox opening 0 tolerance to combustibles. Passed, fail, or not applicable. If it's in this case right here, we're going to measure this distance here. I know this is more than 6 inches. I know this is more than 6 inches, right? So 6 to 12 inches. 6 inches is what? 0, right? You can have nothing flammable here. Is this flammable?
No.
We don't know what's behind there, but I know it's sitting on block, right? And you can look up behind there and you know that it's non-flammable. 90% of the time you can know that that's not flammable. Great points. And then only thin material 3/4 of an inch away. You're gonna grab a tape measure and you're gonna measure off of the inside of the firebox, not the door. How do you do that? You're gonna go into this wall right here and you're gonna measure the distance from this point into the wall of the firebox and then come out here and then remeasure it. This is over 12 inches, all right? So I hit click right here, I hit pass. Let's put an X there. You guys can get rid of the box and put an X there. Hearth extension needs to extend 16 inches out of the front of here. So again, it's the front of the firebox, not the front of the door. 16 inches here and 8 inches past there, all right? This right here, from here to here, this tile, most tiles are 12 inches or so. They got 12 inches that way and 16 inches out the front of it, right? So then you go here, you backspace that, backspace it, hit X. Is there a damp, musty odor in the firebox or the basement cleanout? I don't know, I haven't been in the basement yet. Are there eroded fire brick or mortar inside the firebox? Yes, there are. Fail. Is the damper a damper casting showing signs of moisture? In this case, was it?
Didn't seem like it.
Anybody else? Everybody looked up there?
Yeah, it seemed dry.
Yes or no?
I look right at the damper
Okay, so then you want to check again, but it was absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
when I was in there. Yeah.
It was better than perfect, to be honest with you. Check the damper for proper functionality and wear.
It seemed all right.
Yeah, it seemed perfect. Dude, it was literally perfect. Pass. Are the flue tiles cracked or damaged signs of deterioration that cause a fire hazard?
Hell yes.
All right, are the flue tiles?
No. Well, the tiles itself are on
The flue tiles were pretty good, right? So I'm just now reading this for the first time like this, so I'm learning as you guys are. So are the flue tiles cracked or damaged showing signs of deterioration? I would say they can pass. Agreed? Yeah. Unless you found one vertical crack, we can study, try to find it. If you're trying to do insurance, you better find that crack. All right, understand that? And hit that you found that crack and take pictures of it. Any of those things that you're doing, take your inspection, take pictures of those, or take pictures. I would just take a picture of the camera. I don't want to go in and try to pull that micro SD. I don't want to do any of that, right? Is the flue tiles cracked or damaged, signs of deterioration? Test the draft and ensure the proper airflow. Did it pass?
Yeah.
Love it. Strong, medium, low, or negative pressure. Inspect the smoke chamber for creosote buildup, cracks, or damage. How did that look?
Yeah, I had creosote.
It was wrecked. For creosote buildup, cracks or damage.
So yeah.
Damn straight, it was terrible. It failed, right? Creosote buildup, assess the level of creosote buildup. Type 1, type 2, or type 3. 1 is a ash-like and flaky. Type 2 is a tar and sticky. Type 3 is a hard and glossy. Type 1. When you have type 1, what does that mean?
No PCR.
No, PCR, you don't need a PCR.
Said no PCR.
You're correct, yes sir, you're correct. All right, great job. Exterior, yes or no? Oh, so this is the exterior. It says yes, no, and NA. It doesn't need to say that. So now I'm going to go to the exterior. The only thing I needed to check inside of here, and I did not have one question about the flue tiles.
Mortar.
Joints.
Yeah, like the joints.
It says flue tiles cracked or damaged, and then we either need to add another question in there or we need to put the joints. You know what? That's not overthinking it. A great point, Jameson. Like it says right here, are the flue tiles cracked or damaged and sign of deterioration?
Yes.
Flue tile system is how we're going to refer to that is. Just use it as that. Yes, that's the number one way. No need to do it. What's that?
Just put system right after that.
Yeah. Way to
So
go.
we're calling the gap erosion.
Anything with the flue tile,
Correct.
flue tile system. Yep. We can even put the word integral part of the flue tile system. All right, testing the pressure. The only thing that I missed here was,
Basement, the clean out question.
so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna change that. Is it damp or musty odor in the firebox?
Get rid of it.
Yes.
When we do fail the flue tile cracks, do you want it to be like fail and then say what was going on exactly, just so the customer has it?
Yep,
So
absolutely.
they're not like, oh, there is vertical cracks, when it's like, no, it's just a mortar joint missing.
A freaking phenomenal point. You guys can write in there what kind of damage that you found. Specify. You got, yep. All right, now we're gonna go to the exterior where it says creosote buildup. Exterior, has there separations in the graph? Let's go on the outside now. Down here, we're going to check the foundation of the chimney. There's a couple questions in here. Is there any gaps and cracks in the chimney foundation due to settling? We can check that from the exterior. In this case, the chimney that we're here is an internal chimney, which means it's in the inside of the house. The only way you can check any foundations is to come over here. We're going to check there. We know that there's 2 fireboxes. There's 2 fireplaces in this home. We got to figure out and differentiate which one is which. We're going to go over there. We're going to make sure there's any smells, anything weird going on down there. We're going to come down here. That's part of their chimney inspection to get the 25 points, is to check those clean outdoors. If it's on a slab or a crawl space, you're not going to have the opportunity to look and find these. So we're just going to ask to go in the basement, check those out, come down and check off the questions. So over here, you have both doors, right? This door right here has a gas line going through it. You already know, because you swept the top of the chimney, that you know the gas line. This system is actually what's going in here. It's covered with insulation. All right? So the likelihood of anything nasty coming in here is very slim. We can go ahead and pop this one open if you wanted to, and you're gonna see down inside there. This goes right to the bottom. It drops straight to the bottom. The flue system, the wall comes straight in, stops there. This is gonna catch any debris that's falling down the chimney, all right? It's also gonna catch excess rainwater. So to answer your question, Nick, what happens is, behind there's a drop down. And so I've told you guys the stories about water coming up and building up when there's water hydrostatic pressure underneath there coming up from the flue system, and that's what you see. So the likelihood of something coming out of there, very slim. There will be dead animals in there. There will be, yes, it happens.